Hey Jews, just getting ready for Passover, and as I'm sorting everything in my house, what is kosher for Pesach, what is not kosher for Pesach, and I'm cleaning, it made me think about the upcoming events and actually what's happening now in our timeline. So we're at the year 5,784, which is towards the end of time, so the end times. Okay, so that's why we're seeing a lot of crazy things going down in our reality right now. Have many other classes talking about our reality. It's 5-dimensional. One of the dimensions is time, and so we know a lot of things from the Torah about time and time in our what that means. Okay, very interesting stuff, including the solar eclipse. What significance does that have? All these things, because we are a nation that goes by the moon calendar. We're connected to the moon, and the other nations are connected to the sun. I mean, there's so much to say, but I'm hoping that you'll please listen, because as I said before Passover, we're sorting, and just as that we're doing that, God is doing that at the end of time to find out who of the Jews who have maybe drifted over and forgot in very fundamental and deep ways that they are Jews. Okay, so you may have maintained your Jewish identity to some degree, but we can see it's less and less now over as the time gets later, as we get closer to the mamash, the end of time, like the end, that's it, no more time runs out, that more and more people have gone lost. So if, let's say, many generations ago, your great grandfather or great grandmother or great had somehow lost their Jewish identity, become Reform Jewish or culturally Jewish. Now, a few generations later, maybe there are some people who don't even really know that they're Jewish or know that they were Jewish at some point. Regardless, if this keeps on going as time goes on, then soon there will be no Jews. Am I right? Soon, if everybody assimilates, we will no longer be the nation of Israel. There will be no nation of Israel. And therefore, the Torah, which definitely says that at the end of time, the Jews are getting redeemed, right? The final redemption, that's what's written in the Torah. And pretty much all of Judaism is about that, okay? And we know that the Torah is the truth, the 100% absolute objective truth, because truth doesn't change over time, otherwise it's not true. But if everybody eventually assimilates or gets killed, then there will be no redemption, and then would the Torah be true? It wouldn't be. So they're trying to, the people who are not Jews, this is why we're told to separate. We are a separate and different nation. We have different laws, we have different customs, we have different beliefs. We have a different ideology, a Jewish ideology, Judaism, how to see our reality, which is different than everybody else. And we know where these other people come from. We're not all descended from apes. And somehow some people decided to believe this and some people decided to believe this. And we're now deciding to believe something completely different. That's our right. That's our free will. That's not. That's a lie. We all came from different places. So there, after the flood, there was Noah, and Noah and his 3 sons, Ham, Yafet, and Shem. Okay, they all repopulated the world. Through Shem's line comes Avraham Avinu, our forefather. The genius of the entire generation. He was so smart. That's why Jews are smart, okay? Understand there is a genetic connection to Avraham. From his seed, we are descended. And he was the most genius person in the entire world, that he went out and kept on looking for God until he got to a certain point where God revealed himself. That's what could happen technically to any one of us who decided to use all of our Jew brain to find God, that if you eventually got to the place where you were so close, you would have a revelation, okay, which is what's basically expected of us, okay? So, but I I'm getting too far ahead of myself here because I'm trying to tell you that there are other people. Know this for a fact. There are people who descended from Ham who are wicked. Okay, Ham was cursed. So there are wicked and evil people in our world. Guess what? Good morning. Time to wake up and realize that. Not everybody's born good. Are we born good or are we socialized to be good or whatever? Great question. Why don't you spend your life investigating that? Or you should just know the situation. This is our world. This is what happens. These people have been cursed. They're basically wicked. I could go into it. You'll see it if you want to just realize what's happening around you. Okay, sorry to sound condescending, but it's annoying at this point that it's just, and I get it. I'm not annoyed with you. I'm annoyed maybe that I don't want to, honestly, I don't know. It's a little bit frustrating because it's like, I'm tired of fighting with people over things that are actually obvious in our reality. You just don't want to accept it. And I understand it is cognitive dissonance. You have cognitive dissonance. Okay? It's hard to think that everything is a lie, but pretty much everything is a lie. And we're seeing that, so accept it. This world is actually called the world of lies. Do you think that the Torah was being dramatic when it says this is Olma de Shikra, Olam HaSheker, Olam Hazeh is the world of lies? That's not me saying that. That's not my words. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. That's literally what the Torah tells us. Okay, so let's just know that the Torah is true. It's true. And so we're not looking at things correctly if we don't think it's true, if we don't think that the nation of Israel is different and separate. We're not understanding. You have forgotten or did not learn, and that's fine. But learn now that there is other people. So Ham, Yafet, which is, we were told, basically like Greece. So this is all philosophy. This is all ideology of humanism and, you only live once and whatever. Not for us, guys. So you're just literally cluttering up your brain and your emotional space and everything, and you've assimilated. And now you are identifying more and more as a Jew, but you're out here amongst the nations feeling anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism. Oh, let's debate for years and generations about why is there anti-Semitism. We just can't figure it out. It's all so random, doesn't have any meaning. Or we can just learn that the Torah tells us that anti-Semitism is basically God's way of waking you up to have your Jewish identity. It is genetic. It's genetic. So you are going to be a Jew no matter what you do, whatever. Your soul is Jewish unless you become so evil that your soul gets cut off from the nation of Israel. Okay? But you still could wake up and repent and come back to the nation of Israel. Even in that case, you're never too far gone. And in fact, you're the best person to wake up, because if somebody like you could wake up who is evil, does evil things, supports evil agendas, is anti-Torah, that's not good to be anti-Torah, especially if you haven't bothered to learn Torah to know just exactly what you're being anti. You, my friend, are an anti-Semite. You're a Jewish anti-Semite. Okay, you are preventing Jews from praying Jewish high holidays in the Jewish high holidays in the land of Israel. That's you. You are a supporter of abortion. You are all those things, and that's not me being judgmental. That's literally, I'm just saying, that's evil, okay? Because there is an objective truth, and that's what the objective truth says. This is not me saying any of this. I'm telling you what is in the Torah, like it or not, okay? Oh, it's primitive. Okay, then you may not know enough. Okay, so basically what we're also told is that it's like each one of us should think that we are the balance between good and evil in the world. Okay, so if you are a Jew, acting like a goy, then you are tilting the world this way. Where the goal of this way is the New World Order, Agenda 2030. And you can also see how not nice it is in the world these days, okay, especially for Jews. Weirdly enough, in the land of Israel, right? Why? Because we don't have the Torah laws in the land of Israel. Like I said, actually Israel, the Zionists, are the most anti-Semitic people in the world. And if you are a Jew identifying as a Zionist, you haven't learned your history, because it's all completely the opposite of the Torah, which this is the only reason we are the nation of Israel. Okay, so now let me explain something. Okay, so we said there's the sons of Noah, Ham and Yafet. Also Avraham Avinu. Okay, so Shem, like we said, anti-Shemi, Shem came from him, Avraham. Okay, Avraham also had Ishmael. These are other people in the world with other ideologies, other beliefs, other whatever, that are different and separate. We were told not to go and mix with them. Don't mix with them. Stay separate and stay holy, and stay separate and keep my laws, the Torah laws. If you keep my laws, I will give you the land of Israel, and you will dwell there in peace and prosperity. Now, let's question our reality in 2024. Do we have peace and prosperity in the land of Israel? No. Why don't we have it? Because we don't have the Torah laws, okay? So we're just a random, similar to these guys, to all of these guys, okay, again, from Abraham after came the sons of Torah, who he sent with some spiritual information, not the information of God, not the true information. He sent them to the east. So there are other spiritualities that are great and feel good, and you don't have to commit to anything. You don't have to be pure. You don't have to look like a Jew. You don't have to identify as a Jew. You're just like everybody else, not for the Jew, not for you. You are not counted in the nation of Israel. You're not counting yourself. This is the nation of Israel. This is the nation that's going to be redeemed. The nation of Israel with the laws of the Torah, with that our prophet Moses taught us, and no one is bigger and better than Moses and never will be. And comes from the tribe of Levi, who was never enslaved in Egypt because they were always separate and different, and God kept them. That's what God does. He protects those who keeps his laws, who is his nation. They were never enslaved in Egypt, which again, Passover, we're understanding how God took us from here to here and separated us, gave us a good and beautiful, the best land in the entire world, because it has a spiritual elevation. Okay, so this is more physical, more spiritual. We are supposed to be the spiritual nation. You can't be both a spiritual nation and a materialistic nation. You can, it's not and like Zionist religious Jews who worship the state of Israel, the state, because okay, when we only can worship God. So let's look at our reality. If we had God's guidance and favor. If God was favoring us right now, we'd just be in the land of Israel. We would have the kingdom of David. We would have a temple. Do we have any of those things? No, we don't. So something's wrong. Something's upside down. We're tilted this way. If we want to tilt this way, well, I guess we would be tilting this way. You and many, many, many of your friends and family and everybody and all the Jews would focus on being more of a part of the nation of Israel, less a part of the 70 nations, good friends with everybody. They want us to do this subconsciously, if not even consciously. Okay, the Goyim want us to do this because there's a lot of great, good Goyim, good people that want the world to be better. They look around them, they see the world is kind of falling apart. Okay, so who are you going to blame? Well, unfortunately, they do it in a nasty, disgusting, anti-Semitic way, but they're trying to tell you, stop being involved over here. With all your good intentions, you're just making things worse. and evil, because you're supporting things that sound like a good idea, like equality, but they're just, the way it's being done here is evil. And you're not seeing that because you're so focused on the goal of making things good, like equality, that you're going against the Torah that tells us that there is one man and one woman, two genders. One gender is male, and one gender is female. That's it. It's not mixture of everything and anything goes and everyone can identify with their own subjective truth. And we are supposed to confirm evil is good, and confirm, please, that good is evil. This is the ultimate goal here, okay? So you are already confirming some of that if you are supporting LBGTQ, whatever, and having your inclusive Shabbats, which is nonsense. It's not, that's in no way Judaism. This is Judaism. This and only this is Judaism. Whatever else you're doing is not, including Chabad. Okay, somebody explained to me how that's different than Christianity. It's not. I'm well versed in this. I've learned a lot about this. I'm not even willing to have the debate. I'm happy to share with anybody who wants to know what I know. But this is okay. Go and have your Rebbe as your Mashiach. Go and worship him. Go and say that. And it's not just Chabad, by the way. It's most Hasiduts right now, which is exactly why the Gaon from Vilna banned them, and banned their books. And nobody took them out of Cherem, which is the ban. They are kicked outside of the nation of Israel. You see, back in the day, we had leaders that could just kick you out of the nation of Israel until you repented to come back in. We had to get you out from amongst us. Otherwise, we could be spoiled ourselves. Okay, so take a look around you. So just as you're separating now your chametz from your kosher for Passover stuff at the end of time, which is now, God is going to separate you somehow. You have to wake up and realize that you've mixed in, okay? And kasherize yourself and come back. Be holy for Pesach. Be kosher for Pesach, guys. Ask me questions how, or you may know what you should do, but you haven't done it in a while because it didn't seem important. It is extremely important, especially as we go towards the end of times. And like I said, there are good people out here in the 70 nations who recognize that the world is getting bad and it's going towards worse and war. Okay, New World Order, World War III, Agenda 2030, all these things, and they don't want it to go like that. So they're being anti-Semitic, okay, and I'm giving them a lot of credit, which they deserve none of it. But I'm just trying to explain to you, Jew, the purpose for anti-Semitism isn't because we have no idea. It's because we are not acting in the way that we would, but that we are commanded to be holy and separate and focus on the spiritual aspect of our dimension, else we completely lose that spiritual aspect and dive down into evil. And they're noticing that the world is going in a bad direction, and they are looking to blame you because, like I said, they're mostly rotten, but some of them are good, and they want you to focus on Judaism, but they don't, on a conscious level, they don't even know that that's what they want. So that's the purpose for anti-Semitism. Hashem is trying to wake you up to tell you that you've mixed in and that we need you to be back in the nation of Israel, learning Torah, doing the mitzvot, and we need to recognize that the state of Israel, which is anti-Torah, is not supposed to be leading us, the holy nation of Israel, in the land of Israel. No, we need the Mashiach. We need the kingdom of David, and we need to restore this. That is our mission and our goal. Like they have their mission and their goal, we have our mission and our goal, okay? That is why we're separate. We're going this way, they're going that way, okay? So you need to help the nation of Israel go that way, which also means not celebrating Israel Independence Day. Oh, I'm so radical. Am I, or am I just like being extremely ominous? You're going to celebrate the fact that there's Torah laws here, okay, which is not the point of Judaism at all. They don't want the nation of Israel here. They want Israelis here. They want Israelis here. So there's nation of Israel, which wants the Torah laws and the kingdom of David. Okay, and then we would have peace in our land. We would have abundance. We would be respected. We would be revered, whatever. And the entire world would be peaceful. Is that what's happening in 2024? When kind of shouldn't it be like that? Because shouldn't everything have been gotten better the more time went on and the more developments, the more money that we spent in technology and in health and in research and in this and that? Are we better? Or has all that money and all that time been spent building the New World Order? Okay, so what we have here is the state of Israel and Israelis who are mostly anti-Semitic and don't care at all about any of the holidays or any of the laws or any of the anything, okay? And we don't have peace in the land. We don't have health. We don't have prosperity. Have you ever tried to buy a place in Israel? Good luck and enjoy. Enjoy spending over $1 million for nothing. Not built well, nothing. Okay, in 2024, and we're all crammed in here into ghettos and whatever. I mean, Gaza, before we bombed it, was way nicer than Israel is. Way nicer. Looks to me. I've never been there, but I mean, I saw the open air prison pictures and videos, and it looks pretty nice with all. Anyway, whatever. Also, all the Arab villages are nicer, pretty much. I'd way rather live, even though they're dirty and they're disgusting. But at least they have some land. I mean, I'd like to have a flock of sheep, but no, I can't. But they can. And I can't go live amongst them because it's apartheid, reverse of what all the idiots think. That, I mean, if I accidentally ended up in one of their villages, I'd be a hostage right now, or worse. Like, anyway, so I ramble. But what I'm trying to open your eyes to, Zionists. You don't even know what the word Zionist means. So don't go identifying as one before you learn. Okay? And I'm sorry, I'm annoyed. So, okay, so I'm preachy. What can you do? Wake up. What's it going to take? Literally. All right, Pesach, separate yourself. Just like they had to do. Okay, next Shabbat, the Shabbat coming up is Shabbat HaGadol. Shabbat HaGadol. Okay? And this is the Shabbat where the original Passover story happened, that they sacrificed the Egyptians' god, symbol of their god, okay? And not only did they sacrifice it, so they kept it for 3 days, so the Egyptians saw it was like a sheep or whatever. They kept it, and they then slaughtered it. Then they put the blood on the doorpost, so all the Egyptians could see that we don't care about your gods. We don't care about what you care about. We don't care about anything that you care about. All your values, we are saying no, it's opposite, because we. Okay, so anyway, so then they roasted it. So a big, like, imagine all the Jews were roasting a lamb at the exact same time, and how the smell of their god, the animal that they worship, we're going to just eat and chow down right in front of them. Okay, so that was the Shabbat. And this Shabbat coming up is Shabbat HaGadol. And so we need to think, what values of the 70 nations have we been following that we are now going to sacrifice for God to show him that we want to be a part of the nation of Israel? Okay, so whatever they worship, and if you may be worshiping the same thing, like fame or money or whatever they worship, whatever they think is great and good and praiseworthy is not. It's the opposite. Praiseworthy is the righteous. That's what it says in Tehillim. Liyasharim Tehillah. It is appropriate to give praise to the upright, not the opposite. Okay, so who cares if they have $1 trillion? That's disgusting. Anyway, so happy Passover.